Alright, what up, what up? Yeah, we here now. We got the lesson. So let's go ahead and jump it off. This lesson right here is the one we've been waiting on, alright? So, quantum leap. How to quantum leap, right? So first of all, we gotta know that we gotta break it down. What are we doing when we quantum leaping? So we wanna make sure everybody has a good understanding without being confused what it means to quantum leap. That means that you are jumping from one reality that you're living in to another reality. Almost like a parallel reality that's everything is the same, right? Everything is the same, but it's just something that's a little bit different, right? It's just something that's a little bit different. You want me to tell you what's different? Your consciousness, your level of awareness. That's all. The power of consciousness, all right? So, in order to quantum leap, it's a few things that you need to understand. The law of assumption, timeline jumping, and embodiment. Alright? All of this has to do with the same thing. It almost means the same thing if you want to look at it from that point of view. Or like The Power of Consciousness. It's a book wrote by Neville Goddard, The Power of Awareness, where he talks about the law of assumption. So, what is the law of assumption? The law of assumption is basically saying that whatever you assume to be real, that's what reality is going to be. So if you assume that you're headed in this right direction based on your understanding, you're not confused about it, you know the divine seven aspects of that thing, you know that, okay, let's say you want to be a football player, right? So let's just say you know that at the age of 40 years old, you have a good understanding that you are not going to be able to embody a football player, so you know that that's possibly not going to happen, right? Now, if you really believe and you can put in that work, then maybe you can get on that field and hurt yourself real bad. You know that's a possibility. So that's the truth. That's the timeline you want to jump to. You do that, but don't be too delusional about it. You got to have a real understanding of what's going on. So that might have been a bad example. Let's just say that you want to be a football player and you're in high school and that's what you plan on doing, right? You plan on going to the NFL. You know. So what you need to do is you need your thoughts, your words, your actions, your ideas, the people, places, and things that you do all need to be in alignment. We call that holding the line with that assumption of who you about to become. And you want to quantum leap into that reality. So now the trajectory of your life is heading in that direction. Now you're a timeline jump from a reality that life wanted to give you to a timeline that you're giving yourself because you believe in yourself, all right? So therefore you believe in yourself. So what this is going to take is energy and attention, all right? Now what type of energy, okay, so let's break it down. Attention. Where attention and intention goes is where energy flows. So that's the structure and the flow. So that means that you got the structure through your attention and you get into the flow state. We call that the peace state, right? When we're looking at it from a point of frequencies and vibrations. Vibration being an emotion of peace. The frequency that you put yourself on is the structure and the flow. So that's a high frequency when you put yourself in structure and flow. That's why it's peace. That's why you're on that vibration, because the stillness is right up there with enlightenment. So that means that you know the truth behind everything and how to get there. So faith and expectation. You have an expectation of getting there knowing that everything you're doing is correct. And it's going to get you to that. It's going to get you there. So faith, what kind of faith are we talking about? Faith in your understanding. Remember that, because if you don't have understanding, then you are confused. That is a law of polarity that you must live by. So don't have expectations of getting somewhere if you don't really have faith in your understanding. All right? So let's look at attraction and magnetism. All right? So, attraction. That means that everything I'm doing, my divine seven, the people, places, things, thoughts, words, actions, and ideas that I have in my consciousness, my level of awareness, is all in alignment with what I'm looking to attract. So, I'm going to attract that. It's coming into my life because I'm doing everything it takes to get that. Because faith without works is dead, right? So, because you are attracting it, you have created a level of magnetism, right? And look, you can't magnetize something towards you without getting on that frequency. You have to be on that frequency to attract that to you. You have to be seen, right? It has to show through your works. Not not spoke, but show through your works. You have to show the way. Show yourself the way. You're showing yourself the way at this point. All right, so look, this is one of the things I need you to do. This is one of the things I need y'all to remember when it comes to quantum leaping, law of assumption, timeline jumping. We need to get into that embodiment, right? So embodiment, you are embodying that version of yourself that you choose to be. No matter what anybody else says around you, you have embodied that version. And this is why you don't want to care about what other people around you saying. You don't even got to tell them. You just want to show them because you want to protect your frequency. You don't need everybody in their doubts and sabotage, because they might be trying to sabotage you, right? We don't need other people trying to sabotage us because we already got to worry about our shadow self looking to sabotage us. That's why what really matters is integration. You want to make sure that your higher self of embodiment, believing in yourself, is integrated with your shadow self. The shadow self is always looking to self-sabotage, right? The shadow self is everything. If you look at the video I made on higher self versus shadow self, it talks about the shadow self always operating from these low vibrational states. That means it's sabotaging all of the truths of where you're trying to get to. So, and everybody else around you might be trying to do that too because they don't believe in you the way you believe in you, and they probably barely believe in themselves. So it's probably best that you don't talk about it. You want to protect your frequency with silence. You want to be quiet, right? So remember this. Where you going, everybody can't go. But you need to remember, I'm going, everybody can't go. I'm going to protect my frequency with silence, and I'm going to show you the way, because I don't got to tell you. And I'm operating from joy and gratitude, knowing that I'm doing everything that I need to do and being grateful. See, when you're grateful and have gratitude, that's a point of enthusiasm, right? So the word enthusiasm, this they got a Greek god called theos, right? Enthusiasm. So theos is basically a Greek word, I forgot what language, for God. That's the word for God. Like theology, right? Theology would basically mean Godology. So gratitude and joy is basically how you showing gratitude to God, right? So the same way like we say cleanliness is to godliness, you know what I'm saying? Because you're showing gratitude to God by keeping yourself clean. So gratitude is theos, which means I'm showing gratitude to the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything in alignment, holding the line. Even my feelings, how I feel, that's the feeling of gratitude, knowing that's going to work out. So this is something I need you to realize. So your environment can play a big factor in what you're trying to get to in life, all right? So if you plan on going to the football league, you plan on going to the league, right? Then that means that you're not supposed to be out there hanging on the corner with all your homeboys that's out there smoking weed, drinking, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, not going to practice, not practicing, not keeping their head in their books. If you hanging with them, they sabotaging your future, right? So they offsetting your frequency. They are taking you off of your frequency. And most likely off of the vibration. See, your vibration, those are your emotions, right? So you want to make sure that you have vibrational discipline. That means that my emotions are in alignment. I'm holding alignment. My feelings matter. I believe in myself consistently that this is where I'm going. This is where I'm leaping to. So I want to always stay in that vortex. Because so Abraham Hicks, she say staying in the vortex, right? Staying in alignment with that truth. So that's vibrational discipline, right? So we can't always conquer. We can't just quantum leap over there. So we can't just jump over there, right? We have to transition over there. That means that the trajectory of my life is headed in the direction I want to be headed in. So conquer versus maintenance. I want to make sure I maintain, not complain with maintenance. And through my maintenance, I will get to the point where I'm conquering. That's conquer versus maintenance. So what I cannot do is I cannot overextend myself in other directions that don't have anywhere to do with where I'm jumping to on my timeline. So you cannot overextend, and you want to make sure you stay grounded in your truth. You see what I'm saying? You want to stay grounded in your truth because that means that as I'm putting all my energy to this, I can't let people come around and I'm giving all my energy to everything else. Because now I'm overextending my energy in all these other places. And I'm not giving energy to where I should be giving it to by staying grounded in my truth. And now because I've overextended, anything can happen. So overextending and grounding can lead to a frequency oscillation, right? So let's say frequency oscillation. Let's say somebody has oscillated your frequency, they'll put doubt in your mind, right? So let's say that they put doubt in your mind. Where we at? So belief versus doubt, right? Your feelings matter. They put doubt in your mind, so now you don't even feel the same way because you've been giving your energy everywhere else that you done forgot. Your memory is at play right now because when your frequency gets lowered, your memory, it's an induced trauma, basically. So because when it comes to your embodiment of where you headed in life, because the frequency has went down, it's induced a trauma-like effect, which causes your memory to be offset. And now that your memory has been offset, you don't even remember exactly why you was motivated, passionate about going where you was going now, because you were not in that vibration of being motivated and passionate about your life anymore because you overextended in all these other directions. So now they got your mind on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna call it bullshit, but on other things. Anything can happen in life, right? Anything can happen at any time to cause you to change the trajectory of your life. So what you want to do is you want to stay vigilant. All right. So when you overextend in all these other places, it leads to a frequency oscillation in memory, induced trauma. So we want to say this: your environment matters. Your environment matters. That's why a lot of times, a lot of dudes, if you do plan on going to the league, maybe you need to go stay with your uncle over there on the other side of town who can make sure that you're going to practice every day. You ain't in the hood no more. You are now in an environment that is going to lead the trajectory of your life to where you head in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example. So look at anything you plan on doing in life. Your environment matters. The people, places, things, and your thoughts, words, actions, and ideas. We call that a divine seven awareness. So what you want to do is remember who you are. Do not lose your memory of who you are and where you headed in life, because that's why you got to stay vigilant. All right, stay vigilant. And always remember, keep a good imagination about your future. Visualize that future. Always see it. Be creative in your aspects of going about getting it from a point of positivity. See, vibration, being in a vibration of positivity at all times. So I'm in my high state of joy and peace and gratitude and acceptance of this being my new life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where I'm headed. I'm enlightened in this truth, knowing that everything I'm doing will lead there, right? I'm practicing more than everybody else. I'm doing everything times 3. I'm the best at what I do. I know I'm the best at what I do. You want to have faith, knowing that I'm working times 3 to make sure that I'm going to get there. So if it's, let's just say if only 30% of people make it to the league, then I'm working 3-4 times as hard so I can make sure that my trajectory is now, I'm 1 out of 3 that's destined to go. Or it's a 1 out of 3 chance. Let's just say it's a 2 out of 3 chance of me going at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting in that work. I have faith knowing that everything I'm doing is going to work out. So let's see if we missed anything. So we have the law of assumption. Everybody can't go. Protect your frequency. Have faith and expectation. Attraction and magnetism. Energy and attention. Imagination, creativity, and belief. Remember that. Imagination, creativity, and belief gets the job done. So believing in yourself, being creative about how you're going about getting it, and imagining that future and embodying with the law of assumption, assuming that everything I'm doing gonna get me there. So my imagination, see, that's God right there. If God didn't give you the thought that it can be done, then you wouldn't be having that thought. So know it can be done. All right. So always remember who you are. What we like to do is, like me, I like to make sure I got positive reinforcement. See, me, I know I'm one of the best teachers out there. I'm one of the best at what I do. Ain't nobody giving it to you like I'm giving it to you, all right? So, whatever you're trying to do, I know that you got to embody that whole version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your life. If you're going to be the boss, the CEO, you got to be moving like a CEO, moving like a boss. Whatever you plan on doing in life, you got to be that. You got to be that right now in this present moment, not tomorrow. I am that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say I am. That's why, you know what I'm saying? God said, be that which you are. I am who I am. So the energy in me, the inner God in me allows me to be there because I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in my truth. The G-O-D in me, I'm generating, operating, and destroying that bullshit, staying operational in that truth. And I'm going, I know everybody can't go. I'm going to protect my frequency and I'm going to get it done. I believe in myself. So remember that. I think that's everything. I tried to do it real quick, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody got any questions about this, about how to quantum leap to that new reality, I'm saying that because you can change your life. See, quantum leaping is all about You can change your life today, right now, in this very moment. You decide who you want to be, and you get it done. Because look, I'm gonna tell you like this: their opinions, other people's opinions, don't matter when it comes to this stuff. This is about your life and what you want to get done. Hey, you got kids, you got this, you got that. Just know, I'm gonna tell you like this: whatever you got in life, know this: it is such a thing as cause and effect. Those are universal laws, but we got what we call a transitioning state. That's why we say we don't just jump over there. You know what I'm saying? Like quantum leaping, we don't just leap like quick. It's not like we just get there. We are leaping, we're jumping across. You know what I'm saying? That means that we're traveling. We are on a journey. You know what I'm saying? So we call that moderation. In the Bible, they call it temperance. So temperance is key. Moderation is key. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like saying you about to just quit your job and get a new job. You don't even know where you about to be working at yet. You got all these bills you got to pay. You can't do it like that. Now look, the people that's in alignment with you, they can go. If you in alignment with me and you ain't trying to offset my future, you're not trying to sabotage what I got going on, and you motivate me and I can motivate you, and then we can match that vibration and that frequency. We can match that energy with each other, because energy matters and attention matters. Where you put your attention to is somewhere like on the same trajectory of what I'm doing, then let's go. Let's get it. Now we on the same type of time. We on the same timeline. We can ride out together. But if we ain't on the same timeline, you got this going on, I got that going on. It's too much negativity going on, too much friction. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't maintain and do what I gotta do because you got me complaining about you sabotaging what I got going on. So that's when you distance yourself from that, because that's a boundary you gotta set, right? So if you disrespecting what I got going on, I gotta distance myself. Now we can communicate about it, but if you overstep that boundary, I'm gone. I'm gonna keep doing me, you keep doing you. And that's any relationship. I don't care. People, places, things, even a relationship with yourself. If it's a version of yourself, your shadow version of yourself, trying to get you to be like this and talk like this and move like this, you gotta, man, go look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, me, we're not doing that no more. We're doing this now. This is our new life. And every time you catch yourself offsetting, self-sabotaging yourself, you gonna have to sit down with yourself. You gonna talk to God, you gonna talk to yourself and say, well, what we doing right now? Go do some shadow work. Let's talk about it so we can get to that next level. That's called staying vigilant. So you will get there. Wherever you're trying to go in life, I believe in you, believe in yourself. I'll show you.